directs our steps. Proverbs 20:24. It was truly a Christian liberal arts moment. I read our theme verse once, paused, and slowly read it again. It is the Lord who directs our steps. Immediately, theology, philosophy, and history notes flooded my mind. I began questioning, if it's the Lord who directs my steps, does that mean he knows where I'll step before I actually do it? Or does it mean he lets me choose where to step, the length of my stride, the rhythm of my walk, and remains near, gently coaxing me down the right path? I have to admit, I didn't come up with any answers to these questions. Therefore, I will not be providing us with a detailed theological analysis of our class's theme verse, but instead wish to pull out 3 simple truths that will help us both reflect back on the last 4 years and set our gaze upon life after Westmont. The first truth we find in our theme verse is that we must take a step. I want to talk about this step in 2 ways. First, the direction, which is away. We must take a step away from chapel and classes, away from the DC, the dorms, and the duck pond, away from the relationships we formed with faculty, staff, and with one another. For some of us, it is time to take a step away from the beautiful beaches and lifestyle of Santa Barbara. In addition to stepping away, we must examine the step itself, which I believe needs to be small and simple. It is easy with the revered chapel speakers and inspirational lectures in our classes to think that we could fully redeem this world right now, that we could end poverty if we only put our minds to it. I'm thankful for this passion that Westmont has instilled in its students, to dream big, to lean into the Holy Spirit for strength, and to pour into the hearts, the souls, and the stomachs of people around the world. However, over-romanticizing our mission in this world results in paralysis. Our world needs to be changed and redeemed, but excitement also comes from being faithful in the little things, the day-to-day routine and the mundane. There's an inspirational quote by Mother Teresa that talks about doing small things with great love, and I should probably share it with you now. But I'm going to opt for the advice of another mother, my mother. It was sophomore year, a Christmas break, and I was at home, sitting with my mom in our family car outside of the Vaughn's supermarket. I was in the midst of complaining about being overextended and wondering aloud whether my faith had become a burden and too performance-driven. I was so wrapped up in the Christian stuff I was involved in, and I feared I'd forgotten about Christ altogether. My mom calmly interrupted me and exclaimed, "Ryan, slow down. Start small. Following Jesus, well, it's about returning your grocery cart." Needless to say, I promptly returned my cart that day. But her point must not be overlooked. We are leaving this place, embarking on a journey, and many of us have big goals and real passions. But only faithfulness in the small things will lead to big change. We must first take a step. Secondly, we will fall. A passage similar to ours is Psalm 37, verses 23 and 24. "The steps of a man are established by the Lord, and he delights in his way. When he falls, he shall not be hurled headlong, because the Lord holds his hand." If we look back over the last 4 years, it's easy to see that we cannot flee God's presence. He was there when we worshiped him in chapel. He was there in the late night conversations, in the dorms with our roommates and friends, and he was there when we fell. So many times the Lord directs our steps, gently pushes us in a direction, yet we refuse to budge. We tie our shoelaces together, keep our feet firmly planted, and shake our fist in defiance. Even still, he is the one who walks beside us in tragedy, embraces us in loneliness, and who will hold our hand every time we fall. The third and final truth is that others will follow us. Every one of us is a leader, whether we feel like it or not. According to a recent study, there are 105 million current higher education students worldwide. This is 0.016% of the world's population. Clearly, we were created to lead. We didn't choose even to attend Westmont. We could have easily been born in another region of this world, to another family, and we wouldn't be here today. We didn't choose to be leaders, but we are. And with leadership comes responsibility. As the Lord directs our steps, others will be close behind, closely examining our footprints. Leading will look different for each of us, but the call is the same. We are called to make wise, upright, selfless decisions on behalf of the 99.98% of the world not blessed with our current opportunity. We are called to lead well. I want to close with some of Jesus' most famous words. He was preaching to a crowd in Galilee about the difficulties and burdens in life. In the face of such trials, Jesus speaks of liberation and of hope. Jesus said, according to the paraphrase by Eugene Peterson, "Get away with me and you'll recover your life. I'll show you how to take a real rest. Walk with me and work with me. Watch how I do it. Learn the unforced rhythms of grace." I love the cadence these words carry. When we walk with God, when we trust that He is guiding our steps, something beautiful happens. We move in the way we were created to. We walk in line with His will. My charge, therefore, to the Westmont College graduating class of 2008 is this. Begin by taking a small step into the unknown. Be confident that the Lord is ever present, constantly holding our hand. Believe that we have been chosen to lead others in this world. And above all, learn the cadence of His steps and live according to the unforced rhythms of His grace. Thank you.
On a hot afternoon